started loading that truck, this is a funny thing that happened. When it's cold out, the spout's really fussy over there. She's fussy because the oil's cold, and it's electric over hydraulic, so you push the button and it don't turn. And then you push it again and it turns way further than you wanted it to. So it turned way further than I wanted it to. And then it takes a few seconds to get it back to where it's supposed to be, so you end up blowing chips all over because it hit off the back of the chip band. And somehow I got chips way back there. They started out coming out here, ended up way back there, and I had a bunch of them end up on there. So it's just how it goes. But oh, there's some pretty looking chips. But yeah, I gotta clean that off. We got some freezing rain right now, and like it's just this nasty misty drizzle. And we've been over that before. I gotta clean both of those off. They'll start to overheat on me. But yeah, I got chips spread everywhere. They blew all over the place right off the get. It was funny. But welcome back. We are out in the woods. It's the end of the day. We got our chipping done. We have all of our slashing done. And the motor didn't give us fits this morning. That was a good thing. So that might be getting fixed sooner than later. That's still up in the air. It's just a lot going on right now. It seems that now we've switched to 2 crews. About every other time that a crew needs to move, both crews need to move. It's a really weird scenario. It's a joke that we're on the same cycle, but we have the other crew has one more load of chips to do, and they're done, and they're like an hour and a half away from here. And then our crew has just tops left. We have 3-4 loads, maybe 5 if we're lucky, of wood here. So we'll be done right at the same time. And you're trying to move multiple skidders and cutters and machines, and it's just chippers. And we used to call it the circus when we'd move our machines, when we'd go to the next job. But now it's like we have 2 circuses and they're moving the same day. And it's just like, it's just a mess. But it's fun organizing everybody and everything and trying to stay one step ahead. You know what I mean? But we are on this job, and I thought I'd make a quick video and kind of talk about what we're doing here. I always get interested watching other people's videos, and I was watching Stump Jumpers, and he's kind of doing the same thing we're doing, and I really like it because he's improving timber stands, and that's what TSI stands for, and what we're doing on this site is a timber stand improvement. So what we'll do is we'll take the majority of the garbage out of here and then let the nicer stuff keep growing, and then you'll get some undergrowth. You'll get a little bit of undergrowth, not a whole lot, because the canopy is pretty, in certain areas, is thicker than others and not going to let as much sunlight down, and not much regrowth is going to grow up when you got a big of oak canopy as there is here. But what we did was, on this sale, you can kind of see those are all of our top bundles are all just, those have all been slashed. So they've all been spun around. He would pull them back and spin them around and face them this way. And what we did is we took the clump maple, and there's a couple maples there. It's getting dark out. It's late in the day. And then we left all the oak. We didn't take no oak. And we left the single maple certain sizes down, and we took the bigger maple. But what you have is a bunch of clump. And some people, it's always interesting to see different plots of land and how people cut it differently. And some people know just enough to get themselves into trouble, and they want it cut the way they want it cut. And this here is cut like it should have been cut. It's cut properly. There's a bunch of oak left standing, and these will all be really nice oaks, and you'll have a good regen come up. Like in this area, you get good sunlight in here and along this skid trail and back here, whereas in here, you have a bigger canopy, and then it kind of thins out over here. So you'll have nice regrowth in certain areas, and yeah, and you'll have a nice stand of hardwood back there. So like these bundles here, you're going to look at that and be like, man, John, them were some nice logs and you didn't slash them. And just looking at it, you think, oh man, there's some nice ones in there. They're thick, they're heavy, they're nice, And then you start looking and you realize that it's completely garbage. And one thing that was with a lot of these clumps on this sale was it's got that crack going all the way through it. And that crack ruins that whole log. That tree is utterly useless. And that crack runs all the way up and all the way up to the very top. And that has happened a lot. I mean, I've come across a few on different sales, but there was a bunch in here. And so what they did was they took all that garbage out. And all that tree is doing with the canopy that it had was just stopping other trees from growing. And it wasn't going to produce any more profit. It's completely useless tree. Therefore, we got it out of here. And even that one there, you can see that she's got the same thing going on. It's just junk wood. It's just junk timber. So the best thing to do is get it out of here. Let some other stuff start popping up. You'll have a bunch more hardwood pop up and a bunch more aspen. So there was certain aspen that got taken out of here. The aspen was taken out of here, I believe, a while ago. There was a few kicking around. And then there was a section up front that had some on there that we cut. But what you're doing is you want to get all the garbage out of here. You know, it's not going to get any better. A lot of people misunderstand that if a tree just grows, it just keeps growing and gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you can cut these giant tabletops out of them, and that's not true at all. So you have certain life expectancies for timber, and like your aspen and stuff, you're not going to get a long life expectancy out of it, and then it starts going downhill, and then you'll lose all your timber value. So you got to get in here and get it out of here, and they did a really good job, and it looks really nice back in here. And what there is some bark piles, as you can see, kicking around, and that's kind of the landowner kind of wanted some bark piles for some critters to crawl in, so therefore we did that. Spread some and then stack some in pile somewhere. That's a little pile there of brush for some rabbits or squirrels, or a little bit of habitat there for them. But that's what you're looking for. You just take all the garbage out of here, and it just looks really clean. I mean, it looks like a park back in here, and you can walk all the way through here. It's not like there's a bunch of brush all over where you can't even walk. So, and like I said, every timber sale's a little bit different. Everybody does it different. But this is a timber stand improvement is what we're looking for. To improve this stand, we got to get the garbage out of here. There's no reason to have garbage trees taking sunlight from potential new growth that you know. So that's what we're here doing, and this will all get cleaned up the next couple days. But it's been a good sale. Now I'll walk over here. We'll go over here. We'll look at. This is a bigger piece of property. They've already cut certain sections of it, and I'll show you what it looks like. We are back. That's the slasher there. There's our log pile. So that's our landing right there where we're set up. And this is the piece next to our landing that had been quite cut a little while ago. And it wasn't cut a long time ago, but you can see how all that regrowth just grows up. There's a little trail here. It grows up just beautifully. So that's what we're looking for. This has nice regrowth. This had a lot of aspen in it. So you got a lot of aspen regrowth. And what they did was they left some hardwood standing. Now, I'll go back in here and I'll show you what I'm talking about when I say clump. And what the sunlight, how these things stop other trees from growing. You got a nice stick around there, around that 2-track. She's beautifully thick of trees. And then you get in here and see how it opens right up to where there's nothing. You got a couple trees here, and then you got some old garbage growing. And this stuff ain't gonna amount to anything because that canopy up there is robbing all the sunlight. And that's a clump maple. That's what we call clumps, is where there's a bunch growing out of one. And that's not going to produce that good of logs. So, and you got more clumps back here, and all that does is rob the sunlight. And you go back over here and you have all these nice trees growing, and it's thick and beautiful. And then you get over here and there's nothing. And it's just because it's getting no sunlight from that clump maple and that clump maple and that clump oak over there. They'll stop all this regrowth. That's why you look up and you see all this nice regrowth, and then it opens right up and there's nothing. It's because it can't get no sunlight. So hopefully that helps you out a little bit on what we're doing out here. A lot of people think that loggers just come out here and they don't care about the forest, and all they're trying to do is just get every stick they can and get out of there and not pay landowners for it, and that's not the case at all. We do care a lot about the forest and a lot about timber management and sustainable forestry. We do care all about that stuff. So anyhow, yeah, I think we get a bad rap sometimes, but that's like with anybody in any profession. There's good people and there's people that aren't so swell, shall we say. But yeah, should be we stacked some logs up there, and that should be another video. But getting ready to move them on out. But yeah, that's what you're looking for right there. And that's what we're looking for out there is going to look like when we're done here. But we'll see. We'll get done chipping here and we'll do our cleanup. We're going to get all this bark pile, this stuff all gets moved, that all gets moved. And this will all be cleaned off, just shiny clean. She's froze hard in the rock right now. I mean, we have pounded the frost in there, so this will all get clean. But we're getting ready to move around out. So yeah, it's all about that timber stand improvement. That's what we're looking for. And I think we did a really good job. And whoever marked it out to cut like that, marked it out to cut a really good job. They did a really good job all the way around. And really happy. So thanks for watching. And man, just keep rolling.